Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this special live edition of the Still Salty podcast. I am your co-host, Anthony Marone, here with my buddy, CK. What's up, man?
Not much. I am stoked for today's episode, though.
Yeah, we got a great episode today, right?
Yeah, the one, the only, Paul Valenti of Glazed and Confused. I think there's just a 0% chance I make it through this episode without wanting a donut. So,
I mean, I wanted donuts before. It's only going to go downhill from here.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? It's bound to be brutal in a great way.
In a great way. So this is our first ever live broadcast. We've done a bunch of recorded versions. We thought that Paul would be a great live interview. So if you guys have questions or comments about Glazed and Confused, the donut hustle, how he got started, we're going to bring him on in a minute. Drop your questions in the comments, and we will try to filter them throughout. Busy day for us here at the Marone Law Firm, though. We've got a new service that we just announced today. We're going to show you about it in a second. You want to talk about that, CK?
Yeah. So, obviously phase 2 is showing up here on our doorstep, and we're technically a phase 2 business. So in theory, we could open the doors and go back to work. But, one of our challenges is that we deal with primarily one of the most, delicate populations out there, the elderly. And we had to find a way or kind of brainstorm a way to do this in a really safe way and let our business continue and let people be able to sign their wills and complete their estate plans, but in a way that kind of made sense with everything that's going on in the world right now. So we're rolling out curbside signing, and I think Anthony's going to roll a little clip here.
I got a promo. Curbside.
Make sure you get a drum roll.
Yeah, maybe a drum roll. All right. Let's make sure it works, right?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. World premiere.
Woo.
And there you have it. Curbside will signing. So we're taking a page out of our friends from the restaurant industry's playbook. And for all the wills that we've been drafting for folks using our will builder system, you can now, starting tomorrow, as long as phase 2 gets the go ahead here, which I guess we're still waiting on the governor to approve that as of 4 o'clock today. But as long as phase 2 gets the go ahead, we are going to start booking appointments next week to do curbside will signing. We've got all the PPE and social distancing and masks and sanitizer that we'll need. And it's exciting.
Yeah, ready to roll.
I'll tell you, we did a demo though with the for the video, and it was one of those really hot days. And I don't necessarily know that I'm going to love doing it on some of these 95-degree days in central New York, but
better than snow. Better than snow. All right, so let's get to it, man. Let's bring in Paulie Donuts here to the stream. There he is. There's the man.
Hey guys,
what's up, man?
How are you?
We are good. Staying
Great.
Cool. I see you're at the donut shop. You're at Glazed and Confused downtown now. Still, you guys are closed for the day though, right? I can't come get a donut now.
Closed for the day.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right. That's okay. He'll be open tomorrow, folks. Don't worry.
Right.
So how you doing? How's business going? Tell us a little bit about,
Yeah, I'm doing well. First, thanks for having me, Anthony and CK. Look forward to chatting with you guys. My wife told me don't, talk too much, right? That's always
we want you to talk.
I get that pre-warning. I know all the time. She's right. But things are good in our neck of the world. We got super lucky, I think. And we're kind of grinding away and working hard. But right now, knock on this wood table that things are okay. Looking forward to getting back to some normalcy, hopefully, but they're okay.
Yeah. You guys have been open pretty much the whole time as a food service, right? For takeout.
We have. We never closed our doors. We made a decision, from day one, our staff wanted to work, and we just thought that if we can keep plugging away and make it safe for everybody. So we, right off the bat, installed plexiglass dividers. We limit one in, one out. And, listen, at times some people get a little bit frustrated, but I think overall they understand. And it's helped safety of customers, helped safety of our staff. So it worked out. We're wearing masks. So yeah, we're doing what everyone needs to do to kind of to work in this environment.
Right on. So Paul, I'm super curious about your personal backstory. Did you grow up here?
I did. So
Okay.
I'm an Italian salve boy, right?
Ooh,
right on.
My dad came here from Italy, from Sicily when he was 14 years old. Ended up in Jamestown, New York, and then moved down to Syracuse when he was looking for a job, and then met my mother, and then my grandfather put him to work at LI Chemical, and he went and slung away like with everybody else. And then my dad bought some land, so I ended up moving to Camilla. So I ended up graduating from West Genesee. I actually went to school from second grade all the way through till I graduated at West Genesee. And then I went to Alfred University and then transferred to Syracuse. I've been a local boy my whole life. Love Syracuse. I would probably say I'm a traditional Italian boy who wanted to be close to their parents, right? Never would really move. My oldest brother is the similar way. My middle brother was like, scat, see you later, and looks back and says it was the best thing he did. But so, yeah, I was born and raised here and, love Syracuse. Always been wired kind of as an entrepreneur. I was the kid doing lawns and, coming up with a hustle from by the time I was 13, 14 years old. But yeah, for the most part, I've been here, stayed here, and not looking to move anywhere.
Love it.
Yeah.
We encounter so many local business, kind of like the prominent people. Everybody seems to be just local, born and bred, and it's such a good vibe for our community. But all right, so I got to ask the question.
Yeah.
Why donuts? Like how? And
yeah.
How'd you get there?
So that's a great question. I'm still asking myself that question. But I can give you a little bit of the story, and then I want to touch on how we've been doing this last month, because that's a little bit of luck as well, and we'll get there. But so long story made short, our family, the Valenti tribe. So let's go back to the original story, because I'm sure Anthony could appreciate it.
Let's go.
So my dad, right? My dad, immigrant Italian, worked at LI Chemical. Let's just say that we didn't do very many family vacations over the summer, right? Let's just say we did daycations, right? So we'd go up to Old Forge, drive around, stop and get breakfast, literally come home. My mother would be like, "What are we doing?" He'd be like, "What do you mean? What are we gonna do? What do you think we're doing?" Like, we did it. You ungrateful, no good, right? So we do that. So we did that. So I wasn't a summer vacation guy. So I say that backstory to tell you that I met my wife, Sarah. She went to the Cape every summer with her family. So we get married, and she starts asking me, like, "What do you do? Where do you go?" And I'm thinking, like, "You want to go for a ride? Like, I can do this Sunday afternoon. We'll go for a ride and we'll drive around." So when we had kids, we started to decide where we were going to go on family vacation. And I tried the Cape, and we tried some other spots in Maine. And then we ended up settling in on an area called Rehoboth Beach, Lower Delaware. I loved it there. It gave me enough to do. There was enough restaurants and enough live action. It gave her enough to do because she loved the beaches. So our family vacationed there. There's a great little donut chain down there called the Fractured Prune, which is you're out of the box. They make donuts hot, kind of touristy, like every other, beachside. And we'd go there 2 or 3 times in the week that we were on vacation. So 5 years ago, at the time Isabella was 13, Roman was 8. We were on our way home from that family vacation. It's a 6-hour ride. And Bella and Roman in the back are talking, and they basically asked Mom and Dad a question. And it was simple. If there was a donut shop like the Fractured Prune in Syracuse, would we go as often as we did on vacation? And that started dialogue. And then the kids said they want to open up a Glazed or something like that. They actually came up with the name Glazed and Confused by the time we got home.
That's phenomenal.
That's
so
awesome.
I literally said to the kids, because I was always wired, I said, "Listen, here's the deal, guys. We'll come up with something and we'll launch it." So this is in August of 2015. I said, "We'll launch it at the Taste of Syracuse in 2016. It gave us 8 months. And we got home, and just that whole conversation got kind of just swept away. My youngest one, Roman, like a month in, was like poking me. Hey, I thought we were doing a donut business. Like, what are we doing? Like, he was serious. So I actually reached out. Now, let me say this. I had no experience making donuts. Certainly didn't think I would ever be nicknamed Paulie Donuts. I thought I'd have a cooler nickname than that, right? But I do have a brother that's in the bakery industry. He is now the plant manager for Pennant Products. They do all of Dunkin' Donut mixes. He's been in the game for 30 years. He's a pro. So I reached out to him, started talking to him. So we actually I actually signed up for Taste of Syracuse in November of 2015, never making a donut, not one.
That's phenomenal.
What a story.
We started driving to Rochester on Saturdays and using my brother's test kitchen to kind of work on it and to see what it was all about. I bought a donut fryer, used, didn't know how long we'd be in business. And we were set to open on June 2nd. So this is a great story. This is good. So we went up there, came back, picked 5 donuts to launch with. I was going to do the dollar sample, was going to be the cinnamon sugar. And then literally 2 weeks before the Taste Syracuse, I wake my wife up and I'm like, who wants to spend $1 for a cinnamon sugar when they're $1, right? At the time, bacon was trending, maple was trending. So I came up with the Dizzy Pig, gave a little bit more substance, and we launched the Dizzy Pig for the dollar sample. So
like a rocket.
Yep.
Dizzy Pig is a favorite in our house, by the way.
This is why I always say luck plays in. It's June 2nd, Friday, and we're open. Always had a little bit of a knack for branding and marketing. It's always been my, I've always had a pulse on that. So I thought we spent a little bit more money than most in the stand. We didn't just throw up, junk. So we open up, it's an hour in, a guy comes and interviews us and says, hey, it's pretty cool you're launching a donut shop on National Donut Day. And it was like, today's National Donut Day? Like, I had no idea.
Act like right?
I'm not that smart. Okay. I'm not that smart. So we literally launched on June 2nd, 2016 with the Dizzy Pig. And here we are. I never thought we'd have a brick and mortar store. We did really well that weekend. Started getting texts like, where were we? Where were we going to be? And I never wanted a brick and mortar until the second Taste of Syracuse, and the lines were long. And I really just started thinking that there wasn't a local option. Listen, there's a ton of great bakeries. I'm a fan of almost. I go to Harrison, I go to Linkford all the time, right? Yeah. But there wasn't anyone that just specialized in donuts. And I thought there could be room if we got a small spot. The old Darwin spot always kind of made me excited because it's on a one-way. It's small, like Columbus Bakery. I didn't think there was enough walkable traffic in Syracuse anyway to make it work. So I just thought that it would work well. When I saw that Darwin's was moving out, I was kind of hot on the spot. I was emailing and texting those guys. And then for the most part, we got really lucky. So I thought it was rented. One day I drove by. I tried to buy the building. Could never get a hold of anybody. One day I drive by and there's a for rent sign. I call the guy. Joe's my landlord who owns Appetizing. I meet with him on that Monday. And I literally, I'll never forget this. I said, hey, Joe, I have a little donut business. And he looks at me and he goes, Glazed and Confused? And I go, yeah. And he goes, my kids and I wait in the line to taste. And we literally shook hands and we launched here November 17th, 2017. And here we are. Yeah. So it's a fun story.
Wow. It's a great story. It's really great.
Yeah, it's been great.
So lucky. The Darwin guys, shout out to Daryl and Dave, man. That spot, I remember when they were moving in there because we used to go to Riley's all the time, talking to Daryl because he was a server there and Dave was a bartender. And I'm like, that little spot, I don't know, and it just, man, now it's crazy, right?
Yeah. And, two things about this spot that I like. Couple. One, I like the one way. So you can always pull in and out without having to park.
Yeah.
Two, let's be really honest. Darwin's was doing really, really well. So it showed some success with patterns.
Yeah.
And three, and my friends at Limp Lizard don't ever want me to use the D word, and I love Dinosaur, but it's an easy one to say. We're around the corner from Dinosaur. Everyone knew where you were.
Yeah.
So those combinations. Now we still had to do our job and put out a good product and hopefully have a great vibe when people came in. But I love the spot. Small, manageable. I'm so thankful that we're here. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, and then let's talk about the product a little bit. That's my favorite portion of the business. Yeah. What's your give me your favorite donut that you guys make?
So my favorite donut that we make is probably the filled creme brulee or the cannoli, the yeast. The creme brulee was really good. But if I walked in tomorrow morning, I get a chocolate on chocolate or a cinnamon sugar with a cup of coffee. Sometimes just the classics can do me well.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. You really can't go wrong. They're all
hopefully
fantastic.
we do our job. Yeah. Thank you for that.
The cannoli one is just like mind blowing.
Yes.
Mind blowing.
And we probably get an email a day about when that's going to be on the menu because we do a limited. That's been a good one. We've had the luxury. So when I first started, a lot of people would ask, like, do I think donuts are a trend? And I say this often. Donuts have been around for 130 years.
Yeah.
They're not a trend. Flavors trend.
Right.
Like putting fig and regatta on a donut may have never been, here in the past. So that's certainly trending. But donuts themselves are a staple. We're lucky. They're not cupcakes. You can get them for an office meeting. You can bring them home and have them for dessert, have them throughout the day. And thankfully, we've been really, really well received by our community. We don't do much without them,
Yeah, the community has really embraced you guys, and you guys have returned the favor, I think. Talk a little bit about your neighborhood, the thing you're doing with the neighborhoods now. I think that's really cool.
So just so you know, before I told the kids I'd commit to the Taste of Syracuse, I told them that there was 2 rules. One was we had to give back 10% of the profits to a local charity, so they realized what it was like to give back. And 2, they had to work to stand and not be home. And so giving back has always been part of our staple. We still do. That's super important for us. But we'll jump back to COVID and what we've been doing in the last 2 months to stay alive. And we got super lucky. So it's the first week of this whole craziness. We get a lady that calls us and asks if she can purchase 24 half dozens for her neighborhood. She didn't want to be named. She just wanted us to go and leave them all doorstep. So we were going to do that at 10 o'clock in the morning it was a Thursday. I decided to pull out the food truck so that way at least if people saw us, they would see who it was and not think it was just someone's car. Right. And get a little weird.
Right on.
So we actually, using social to show what the nice lady did, we took a picture and the tagline said something like a good neighbor, Team Glazed was there and how nice it was, the real hero in the community. The next day, we got an email from a lady asking how we could bring donuts to her neighborhood. That spawned into this neighborhood event. It has been amazing. So we average 2 to 3 neighborhoods a day. The way the neighborhoods work, just in case anyone wants to add to us, we're out till the end of June, but if you want in July. So the way it works now is someone in the neighborhood usually rallies the neighborhood, collects email address, and the order. And we deliver either the classic confused dozen, one of all of our flavors, or a half dozen. There's only 2 options. They send that list to us prior to delivery. We individually bill all the households, so no man or lady has to collect all the money and be nervous about that. And then we go up to the neighborhood, we deliver doorstep, ring the doorbell, kindly back away, kids wave, honk the food truck, and go on. So that is for us. So we haven't not done a neighborhood every day since that lady's post going back to the end of March, first week in April. So we're super thankful for that. Another thing that did for us was 1, kept us relevant. 2, every time we add Anthony Marone or CK into our back end and bill you, now we're at your fingertips so we can send you stuff. And there's, whether I love downtown, right? I love being here, but there's a lot of folks that live in Clay and Beeville that just don't want to venture downtown. So it kind of introduced us to them. It built a relationship with them, and it's kept us busy. So we had a great April. Again, lucky, right? Never was planning that would happen. I like to listen. I'm a humble guy.
I like how you say luck. I'm like, this is making some pretty good business decisions here.
It's a great product. I mean, it just makes sense.
So let's just say, because I'm a humble guy, I'm not, let's just say that the neighborhood, they all started following. I think we kind of led that, which is awesome because it gave another option for everybody. And you know what? So be it. It's been great. So we did 2 neighborhoods today. We have 2 tomorrow, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. We take.
And you're booked through the end of June. That's crazy.
We are June 28th is when. Yeah, we're in the July.
my God.
And we've had them ever. So now we're seeing people come back for round 2, which has been great.
Yeah,
so
right.
we'll keep it going as long as we can. That really, really, really helped us stay busy, build relationships, kept us relevant, and we're thankful for it.
Every time I leave the house, I think I see the donut mobile. So it's kind of become this like symbol of hope that if donuts can keep going, I think we all can too.
Yeah.
How many donuts are you guys slinging like a day, for example?
Pre-COVID or COVID? I mean, it's been, so let's just say that we average between 100 and 140 dozen for the neighborhoods. So the 3 neighborhoods, so that's, some neighborhoods are 50, some are 37. We did a small one today, 17. So my staff is forced in a small space to come in, get the neighborhoods done by 7 o'clock so they can start our day, because we've been busy as well. So it's been a challenge for them. Certainly, let's be honest, right? Most people would rather be home collecting unemployment, getting an extra $600. So we're thankful for our staff. I mean, they're coming in working harder, and we're busier, right? And trust me, my family won't forget that. But listen, I also tell them this, we could have risked closing, not being relevant. And when we open back up, who knows what we look like at that point, right? So it's been good, you guys. It's been good.
I think there's something to be said for businesses that have stuck it out with everybody through this, weathered the rapids here,
That's right.
I think we all had 2 decisions, right? We could close the doors and wait for it to blow over, or figure it out. And, Paul, I think you're an amazing example of figuring it out, and, kudos to you and everything you guys have been doing. It's awesome.
Let's take a quick question from a viewer here. Ricky Brown, our friend Ricky Brown, says, great local brand. I'm wondering what you have done specifically to avoid losing momentum. I think we've talked about that a little bit. Have those additional costs affected your bottom line? Yeah, like the screens and all the PPE. It's expensive.
Sure. Yeah, Ricky, those are great questions. We invested money in the screens, and one in and one out. On a traditional Saturday, we're usually pretty busy and people can line up. So it's hard to do one in, one out, right? Yeah. So there's no doubt, Ricky, that it's affected us. We actually had to add staff because now we're doing the neighborhoods. It's costly. But at the end of the day, I would rather have revenue coming in and make the adjustment and take less of a margin than not be open. Yeah. So thankfully it's worked out, but there's no question. And at the time, I won't say who the vendor is for the plexiglass, but when they got delivered and put up and I got the bill, I was looking for the car I purchased out front. My first, and listen, I won't knock them, and I still do business with them, but I was sticker shock. The first box of masks I bought. I was looking for the motorcycle that came with. I mean, it's like, they were $80 a box, but unfortunately we weren't alone. It was everybody. So you just have
you think the costs have kind of flattened out a little bit for you now? Like it's more reasonable costs.
So, Anthony, we're going to leave the plexiglass up all summer. Like at this point, we're in this. This is probably the new normal.
You bought the thing. You might as well.
I bought it. Yeah. I can put it between me and the kids sometimes to, between the 2 kids from fighting. But let's talk masks. They went from $75 a box down to $36 a box. Those are hopefully continuing to come down. But I've always cost of doing business in this world right now, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep.
Where do we want to go next? What do we want to, more donut talk?
So I saw in one of the questions there was a that you guys usually ask or have asked about like fears, like 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's supposed to be me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Come on, Anthony.
So,
I'm just here drinking my beer. Don't worry.
Yeah. So that's a great question because they haven't changed. My fear 6 months ago was being relevant, and my goal and my fear today is being relevant, right? I also, we're really focused on customer service and listen, we're human, right? Girls are, after doing 100 dozen, you walk in, you might catch somebody at the wrong time. Yeah. I always explain to them, my philosophy in doing business is I don't pay anyone's salary here. It's customers, right? So if they're not happy, we're all in trouble. To be really humbled, we rank number 1 out of 700 entities and restaurants in upstate New York on TripAdvisor. 1, it's hard to get a bad donut, hopefully. So that's easier than leaving with a pizza and it's cold. 2, hopefully people get treated well. So my two biggest concerns are making sure my staff doesn't get tired. And by naturally getting tired, they present themselves as not being attentive, and then staying relevant. The food truck kept us relevant for now. Yeah, I'm already wondering, like, so now we introduced the parade. The truck has led the parade. We're starting to get that in, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what that looks like in July? I mean, the neighborhoods probably won't last forever. So that's my biggest fear, is staying relevant, because if we're not, we're in the rearview mirror. I mean, there's a lot smarter people than me, right, doing a lot of great things.
Well, the one thing I'll say that I've always picked up on and noticed, and this must be this theory playing out, is like, you're not afraid to take a random day off to give your workers a break. Like, you'll just be like, well, we're taking today off. I got to, we're going to refresh. Like, I think that's been great to see from the public perspective. Like, this is a person who cares about his team, is willing to sacrifice money for the happiness of my employees.
Yeah, and listen, I don't know if there's a black or white on if that's right or wrong. I know I have some of my business friends that are smarter than me call me and say, what's the difference? Like, split your staff and be open. You can't close. I got to tell you, when they work super hard all the time and we don't get days off, it's like you said, it's like, for me, the money is irrelevant. Their peace of mind, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, if our staff isn't happy, it's affected, and it's a byproduct all the way down how they treat customers.
Yeah,
their personality.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, I'm looking around. I have a small space. If you're in an angry mood or not in a good mood, there's nowhere to hide here. There's no office to go into.
Right,
you can only get onto the bathroom so many times, right? I leave often. I'm like an OCD, ADD, so I get in my car and go do things. So for them, they're here, like, they're running the show. Yeah. So we do that as often as we possibly can. And my philosophy there is, hey guys, we'll grind it when it is, and I certainly understand. But thanks for those kind words, Anthony. I mean, it is. They are more important than money.
Well, it's about building a culture. I think you could split the staff and probably maybe accomplish the same thing, but you're building that culture within the team that we care for each other and are willing to recognize that, in the right way. I think that makes a lot of sense to people. We've got some really positive comments here. Ricky said, loves the story.
Oh, great.
Jennifer said, your community will remember how hard you work to serve them and put smiles on people's faces during this crazy time. Great job. Yeah, I think that's widely agreed, that especially during this uncertain time, for any business to be able to keep going, and then on top of that to be innovating and changing your business model is just, I've been really proud to see all the stuff that you've been doing and thinking like, oh, how can I copy and paste that to my little corner of the world here?
We were mocking up wheel trucks the other day, just saying.
That's right. No, I'm with you, man. Right. I get it.
You want to switch to the local segment?
Yeah. We'll get them with a little local flavor.
Let's do it.
So here's a hard one. What is your favorite local business that's obviously not your own?
Sure. So I thought about this, and I'd have to say that if you were to say pick a business that I'd hand you tomorrow, I'd probably have a lot of fun at Beacon Skiff.
Oh yeah,
right
on.
I think I commend them for what they're doing. There you go. I commend them for what they're doing. Tommy, my graphic guy, does their graphics, so I'd be a good fit.
Does our graphics too?
Yeah, and that's right. Your graphics as well. So
shout out to Tommy Lincoln. Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.
That's right. I think that we were just up there. I think that I probably have a lot of fun with some flavor creations. I probably have a lot of fun in the summer with some events and concerts. So I would probably go in that direction right there. Beacon Skiff.
They've done such a phenomenal job. I remember going to Beacon Skiff as a kid, and it was like the one farmhouse kind of still fun, but not anywhere near the operation that they've got now.
Yeah,
it's
agreed.
Unbelievable.
They do a great job.
Next generation has kind of blown it up.
Yep.
All right,
Paul,
so
you said flavor, so now I have a follow-up donut question. Sorry, Anthony.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with like new flavors, and more importantly, do you need taste testers?
Yeah, you got it. So you guys are hired.
Sweet. Okay.
So a lot of flavors. So let me say this: my sweet spot, like I'm an ice cream guy. I love ice cream.
Same.
So I get a lot of flavors from ice cream flavors, right? So if I see a new flavor on the ice cream shelf, I start to think like, okay, that could probably, like, how can we work this in? And then really, like, a lot of flavors will come from customers just saying, have you ever done? right? And then we'll either get their name or we'll put it on the list. You know, it's interesting. People love it when you listen, right? I'm not a great listener. My wife has been saying for years, like, you do a lot of talking, you never listen. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, I'll listen to a customer. They'll tell me they want a flavor. When we have it, they'll reach out and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually did it. Like, you listen. So listening to our customers, like when they say, or like certain trending, and then a lot of times, guys, it's seasonal, right? So the fall, we go in bourbon apple and caramels, and we go pumpkin, right? And then summertime, you can play with fresh fruit. So it's a variation of all those. Throw it in a recipe and a pot and stir it up and see what comes out. But generally, more times than not, it's a customer that comes in that says, "Have you ever done?" And we listen and write it down, and we tell them, "Stay tuned."
I love that.
That's phenomenal.
So one of my favorite things.
Listening is the best skill a business can have, hands down.
Yeah. Agreed. One of my favorite
how
things.
well I can do it here and not do it right? It's amazing.
That's the way it works.
So it goes. One of my favorite things.
I hope my wife's not watching. I hope my wife's not watching. My wife was like, she just asked for a lemon lime filled donut, and I think we're doing something else, and she's gonna tell me I didn't really listen. But we're gonna do that next Friday. We'll do that next Friday.
I've always thought that they should do, like, you know, you go to like a brewery and they'll have like the scratch beers that are only available there. Like, you know, these are all the donuts that we wanted to make that never made it past production type week or something like that. But the comments on your Instagram of people suggesting flavors, I'm like, holy crap, people are more creative than me. I'm like, those sound delicious.
Great. So what's interesting is we were going to plan, and we are. Hopefully this is after COVID in the fall, but we've never done a greatest hits box. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is for a week, we will have all of our flavors come off the shelf, and they'll be our 12 biggest sellers, and it'll be like a golden box, and then you'll have one of them all in it. Because I have a way, you know, we can track our sales based on donut flavors.
Yeah.
So we'll put the cannoli in there, and we'll put the Dizzy Pig in there, and we'll just do it all. We'll just do it once a year, which would be, you know, a pretty fun week.
Anniversary week or something.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. What's the number one like overall bestseller?
So the Dizzy Pig was number one for 2 straight years. And I think there was my philosophy on that was if you've only heard about us from the Taste of Syracuse, you'd want to come in, at least try the staple. That's trended away. So then it went to the French toast for about a couple of months. The number one donut right now is our cinnamon roll.
That's good.
Cinnamon roll, or one of the Nutellas or the Buckeye, like chocolate peanut butter. But there's no doubt our most popular flavors is every Friday the filled donut, superior over all the rest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so a yeast donut takes a lot more time than a cake. You have to come in, you have to let it set. So when people say, I can't believe you sold out, how dare you? Well, we were preparing, we'll prepare for 600 cotton candies tomorrow. And at 9 a.m, when we've sold 600 and we limit 6 each, you can't just whip up more.
Yeah, right.
Done. 3 hours. Right. By the time I got more done, it's 1 o'clock, we're closed. Right. So, So we add in, like when we do cannoli donuts now, we do 700 and stuff like that, but we try our best. But those by far, when we could stuff them with anything and they sell well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Those funfetti ones, just unbelievable. Oh,
you missed on the last episode of the pod. We had Michael Scrow, and you missed. We had a healthy debate because CK does not like jelly.
Wow!
And I was like, that
so the PBJ was no good.
Oh, Mike and I loved it. He didn't want anything to do with it. I'm like, this thing is one of the best things I've ever eaten in my whole life.
Yeah, I like the PBJ as well. That's wild. So classic jelly filled, none of that, CK.
No.
Are you a custard filled guy? So like creme brulee with custard? Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
You like the funfetti one too, right? The funfetti.
Yeah. You cannot go wrong with those. Yeah. Just no jelly, please. Thanks.
No jelly.
You got it.
That's we still love them. It's okay.
They keep me around.
Okay. That's okay.
I think that debate went on for like 15 minutes.
That's and what was Michael's opinion? Scroll.
Oh, loves the jelly. Loves the jelly. Yeah. And then we had Olivia on from our office, big jelly fan. Then we got into debates on the type of jelly and the my So
grape or strawberry. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those
maybe
are
raspberry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
True.
All right. So now we've got my favorite portion of the show is the This or That CNY edition. So we'll give you 2 or 3 choices, and you tell us what's your favorite local option out of these 2. Okay.
Okay.
I think I probably know the answer to this first one. This or that, Taste of Syracuse or the Great New York State Fair?
Yep. I'm a taste guy.
Yeah. Makes
Gotta
sense.
be.
You know, I have to. It's where we
Origin.
started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Syracuse basketball or Syracuse football?
Syracuse basketball.
Yeah. Well, especially if you get to sit with your friend, Adam.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very lucky
Yeah.
there too. That's right. Better
Oh.
seats.
All right. Some of these we've kind of telegraphed with a little bit.
Yeah.
Italian Fest, Greek Fest, or Irish Fest?
Italian Fest.
Paisan, of course.
As
That's right.
expected.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't answer any other way. You'd be ostracized from your people.
That exactly. Someone would call me. Are you kidding
For
me?
sure.
What you say to these
What you're
guys?
saying?
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
I
And
knew
then
it.
you wouldn't be able to see them, but they'd definitely be like this.
No doubt.
2-parter, CNY in the spring or the fall?
I'm a fall guy all the way.
Yeah. And then summer or winter?
I'm a summer guy.
So fall or summer?
Fall.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
Best choice.
You know what? I'm like well, it depends. Am I somewhat in shape or have I gained weight? Right? right? So, because if I've gained weight, like I want the summer to go away because I want to put on fall clothes. Right? I'm just being really honest, right? Like I'll
little
put 10
sweater.
years of my
Yeah.
strength.
Give me that hoodie. Yep.
But generally, I love the leaves. I like bacon skiff going there in the fall. I love football season. I love being able to throw on jeans and a flannel. I would say fall is my favorite season.
Love it. Agreed. Apple fritters or apple pie?
Fritters.
Me too.
Why?
I
Curious.
don't know. Donut. I mean, it's in the donuts family. I can't dislike
like a
donut
cousin.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
That's a good look. That's a good look. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all related.
Yep.
Onondaga Lake Park or Green Lakes?
Onondaga Lake Park.
Nice.
Lights on the lake or Clinton Square tree?
Tree lighting's good to us. Clinton Square
Right.
tree.
Mm.
Yep. Very good to us.
It's crazy there for the tree lighting.
That's
just
our,
crazy.
So
Yeah.
we're not open in the evenings. Obviously, we're open that night. And again, I go back to being really thankful. I mean, I wouldn't wait in that line for a donut. Thankfully it moves quick and stuff. But God bless. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Agreed. Do you like chicken wings?
I do.
Chicken wing guy? All right. Big question here: ranch or blue cheese?
Blue cheese all the way.
Oh yes.
Blue cheese all the
CK,
way.
I don't think you've had anybody agree with you, CK.
It appears I'm on my ranch island all by myself.
CK, no jelly and ranch.
Yeah, but they go together to me. They're just
So Hellman's are cool. Hellman's are what's the other one?
Cool
What's
Whip.
the other mayo option?
Cool Whip, right?
Cool Whip.
mayo.
Yeah.
Mayo.
Okay.
Yeah. What
Okay.
do we do? How do we get mayo up in here? Ooh.
Because like it just seems like if you don't like jelly,
Hmm.
right? Then I would think that you have something is different about your taste buds than Anthony's and mine. So you gotta be like a stray off, right? I think.
Okay.
Olivia Brown is from our office is happy that you like
She's
that you picked
hardcore
blue cheese.
team
Hardcore.
blue
Oh,
cheese.
Blue cheese. In fact, Anthony, I don't know about you, but when restaurants cut their blue cheese with ranch and it's not as thick, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
just
you can tell. Send it back. Send it
I
back.
don't, no doubt. Yep.
Also, what's a restaurant? Is that a place that we could go to?
I know. That's true.
I want to just as a side note here. Are you guys thinking about putting the chairs back outside at all, or no?
We're putting them out tomorrow.
Yeah, I
If we
saw
get the
Fish
green
Fryer.
light.
Fish Fryer was doing it too.
So if we get the green light tomorrow, we'll have 4 tables out with 2 chairs each, separated 6 by 6 feet.
Yeah,
And that'll be a really good sign.
I like that. Oh my God, I think our ranch and blue cheese here has set off a
Oh,
Boy,
my
you
boy,
bring-
Joey D.
Bring in
City
the first
Council.
lady's comment, please.
City Councilman Joe Driscoll says keep blue cheese blue. We
No,
got
no. There it is.
my wife
Wow.
Team ranch.
The only opinion that matters.
That's great.
The first lady of the Maroon.
And
Lounge.
apparently, I referred to
Team
Miracle
Ranch.
Whip as I referred to Miracle Whip as Cool Whip, which because I'm thinking
Oh,
donuts.
Miracle
like,
Whip. That's right. Miracle
Miracle
Whip. That's right. That's right. Because
we all knew. We all knew.
A Jeff Peter Pan debate, right?
Oh, yeah. CK says he's a peanut butter purist. I don't know what that means, but are you team GIF or team Peter Pan?
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Jeff.
Same.
Well, actually, Wegmans, but I like
Wegmans. But it's Wegmans tastes like Jeff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wegmans is the cheaper Jeff.
It's Jeff. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, man. CK, what are we going to do? We got to find some other questions so that you don't feel so ostracized here.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm used to it. It's the way I've spent most of my life.
Yeah. Everybody kind of chuckled at my Miracle Whip snafu. Sorry. All right. We got a last this or that 3-parter: hot dog, Cooney, or Italian sausage.
Is Joe Driscoll still watching?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. He knows I'm the sausage king of Chicago, so Abe Froman. I'm going to go with sausage. I'm going to go with sausage sandwich. But second would be hot dog. Third would be Cooney.
Yeah, same for me. We're trying to get the Donut Don of CNY trending as the new nickname.
That's great.
If you want an alternate to Paulie Donuts, I feel like that you could trademark that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, there you go. Well, man, this was great. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for agreeing to do it live.
Thank you so much, guys. It was fun.
This was so great. And if you guys want to check out Glazed and Confused downtown, you want to drop your location and all the details for us?
Yeah, we're at 211 North Clinton Street, around the corner from Dinosaur Barbecue. Really easy in and out. I mean, never really a difficult time to get parking. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 7 a.m. till 1. So the only thing that changes, we cut back an hour, and we're open 8 a.m. till 1 on Saturdays and Sundays.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So good. So great. Well, thanks again for joining this special edition of the Still Salty podcast. As always, we are still tough.
Still thriving.
Still salty.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Paul.